Hi, and welcome to Size Dog Training. My name is Heidi McGlott, and I'm the owner and the trainer here at Size. First, I want to say thank you for signing up with me. I find it a real honor and a privilege to get to work with you and your dog or your puppy. I am a force-free trainer, and I focus on getting your dog to understand what you expect and creating a really good, secure bond and opening the lines of communication between you and your dog. So today what this video is going to cover are my puppy top 10. So first thing I want to mention on the list, number one, is supervision. When we get a new puppy, of course, it's very exciting and everybody wants to have their time with the puppy. We want to play with the puppy, let him explore his surroundings. But the first thing we need to really keep in mind is supervision of the puppy. And the puppy should always have eyes on him, and that's going to help keep him safe. It's going to keep him from getting into trouble, of chewing on things, getting underneath the couch and getting stuck. Also, it's going to help protect your home. You can keep an eye on him. You'll be eliminating potty accidents and maybe chewing on the carpet or furniture. So supervision first and foremost. Anytime that puppy is out of its crate or out of its playpen, it should have eyes on him and being supervised at all times by someone who is able to understand the expectations of supervising the puppy. Number two is going to be management of your puppy or your dog. So what do I mean by management? Essentially what that means is we are going to learn how to manage our puppy's environment as well as our expectations of what our puppy is going to be able to do. When we work with puppies, we have to remember we're literally going 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour, 1 day, et cetera, et cetera. So things need to move very slow with your puppy when you're trying to get them acclimated. However, your puppy is not going to be slow. Your puppy is going to be upgoing. And when we talk about management, what I mean is really getting a good plan in place to keep your puppy safe. So not just with the supervision, but making sure that you have a plan for when you're not going to be home, or if the adult in the room has to leave to go to the other room, to say to the kitchen to prepare supper, what's going to happen with puppy when the adult cannot be there to supervise the puppy. So we're going to go over some of those things as well through our classes when you sign up with me. Number three is going to be exercise. So exercise is very important for any age dog. Now with puppies, we really have to be careful of what we do and how much we do too soon. So puppies are like children, like adult or like humans. Their bones are still growing and they have growth plates. First, we need to make sure that we're not allowing them to jump off of any high surfaces. So no jumping off the couch, off the bed, out of the car, etc. We need to make sure that we're protecting their joints, their bones, their spine, etc. And giving them the right type of exercise for a very small puppy should be smaller sessions more often. So taking a 3-month-old puppy on a 2-mile hike or walk is not ideal. I would probably recommend that shortening your walk or your hike to maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and a not trying terrain, so like maybe just a simple walk in your backyard or playing ball. As we go along through the program, we will talk more about exercise for your dog. I'll give recommendations, what's appropriate for your dog's age, the dog breed, the activity level, your environment. Number 4 is going to be enrichment. So people look at me and they wonder, what does she mean by enrichment? I am talking about mental enrichment. So dogs are very, very smart, and we need to make sure that we are challenging them mentally every day, as well as physically with their exercise. So part of what your program is going to be also is we're going to be coming up with a plan to help you keep your dog mentally stimulated. And that doesn't mean that you constantly have to be exercising your dog and going for a run or a jog. There's lots of things that we can do to allow our dogs to utilize their own natural skills and abilities to help them become enriched and have a more fulfilling life, like scent work, playing games, et cetera, et cetera. Exercise and enrichment basically go hand in hand. The next thing I want to talk about, number 5, is crate training. In your initial welcome email, you will be getting just a little blurb on why crate training is important. We will make a plan if you don't have one or feel you need help with a crate training plan for your puppy. It's a really wonderful way to first allow your dog to have a place to go to have their own little private place to get away. Dogs do have a tendency, to want to revert back to what we call the denning instinct. So if they're tired or if they're stressed or anxious, you may notice dogs going underneath furniture, under a chair, trying to get really close to their humans, burrowing under blankets. That's essentially the denning instinct. And that goes back way, way, way back thousands of years ago in dogs. And the reason the denning instinct is important to them is they like to feel safe and comfortable. If they're feeling stressed, they can have their own little place to go to get away, relax, and it really gives them a sense of belonging and having their own little bedroom. So we'll talk more about crate training. Also, crate training is very, very effective with potty training. I've been using a crate for training my dogs for potty and otherwise for the last 26 years and have had immense success with it. Using a crate for potty training can make your potty training regimen and plan 100% more successful. It reduces stress for you, and it's a very simple formula to follow. You just have to have the right plan in place, have some help, and that's what I'm here for. The next thing I want to talk about is treats. So number 6 is treats and the value of treats. I know when we train our dogs using positive reinforcement, we do rely heavily on treats in the very beginning. And I don't want people to think that, oh gosh, my dog's going to have treats for the rest of their life. I can't do this. This is ridiculous. It's too much. My dog's getting chubby. And that's not the case. So in the first year of training, really, we do rely on treats or their dog food to motivate our dog. So think of the treat as your dog's paycheck. So we all go to work to make money to help us pay for bills, buy groceries, pay for our home, et cetera, et cetera. And if we are not being paid what we feel is appropriate for the work we're providing, we probably aren't going to stay in that job. So the same thing with our dogs. We want to make sure that we're rewarding them with the right type of pay for the type of work we're asking them to do. So for things that are new or hard, we really want to up the ante on the value of their treat, of quote unquote their paycheck. So we'll say a basic training treat you can buy from the pet store. They run about $5.99 to $12.99 a pound. Those little prepackaged treats, to some dogs, it's like a 50 cent, $1 maybe value per treat. Now, I like to use boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I've boiled, and I use that for reward, almost solely now for rewards for training my dog and clients' dogs. And to my dog, that fresh boiled, boneless, skinless chicken breast is like a $20 paycheck, $100 paycheck. Depends on her moment. Some days it's really hard to get her to focus because she's so overwhelmed by the value of the treat. I have to take a step back on the value of my treat. So when we're working with our dogs, I really like to suggest that you have multiple treats in your training pouch to work with, just in case what we're working with is not motivating them. And every day they may, have a different, a different taste going on, or be more interested in something of lower value, or we may have to pull up the higher value. Now, other than the value of the treat, the size of the treat is also very, very important. So imagine in your mind and just visualize what I'm saying. A German Shepherd adult dog should get nothing larger than a green pea sized treat. That's not very big, right? But guess what? It works. And the reason we suggest, as positive reinforcement trainers, the reason we suggest a small treat size is, one, it keeps them motivated. The smaller the treat, oh, I want more. That was really delicious. I'll pay attention. I want more of that. Also, two, we don't want them getting full. And if they get full, then they're going to lose interest. Also, two, the value of it for us, the cost, we use a lot of training treats. It can get really expensive. Also, if we feed too much, it can upset puppies' tummies sometimes and give them some gastrointestinal issues as well. So the smaller the reward is, the smaller the treat, the easier it is on their tummy. It keeps them more engaged and makes them want to come back for more. Number 7. So this has been a really big topic with my clients as of lately. In the last year or so, I've had about 40 plus German Shepherd puppies come through, and all but a few of them are what I will call land sharks. And it's not that they're mean, They're just very, very, very excited and they want to play and they use their mouths to explore. And puppies can have very sharp teeth, and using the right type of toys first off is a great way to deal with that, but we'll get to that down the road. So one thing I do like to suggest to my pet parents that have dogs, one that are nippy or bitey or are really hard to get focused, or even for older dogs that have some behavioral issues, I like them to consider the options of utilizing a Kong or toy feeding system versus free feeding. We can discuss this more if we feel that it is appropriate for you, or if you have questions, I'd be more than happy to help explain what I mean by free feed versus using Kongs or toys. When dogs chew, it actually releases endorphins, and those endorphins allow the dog to feel a sense of calm and relaxation. So that's why dogs of all ages like to chew. Now, puppies, of course, it's going to be because they're teething, probably, right? But still, there is a physical reaction they get, a chemical thing actually happening in their body. And allowing them to chew and having the right outlet to chew is going to help eliminate them chewing up the things they're not supposed to chew. Number 8. So toys, appropriate toys for play and nipping. So let's say you've got a small puppy you just brought home and oh my gosh, they're just all over you. They're biting and nipping. They're snipping at your fingers and they're going after your pant legs. And anytime to put your hands near them, oh, they just turn into this little chompy T-Rex at you. And having the right types of toys for the right type of behavior is really important. And puppy nipping and biting can really be a nuisance, and it can be dangerous, let's be honest. If you have small children in your home and if you have toddlers, it can be kind of scary if you've got a new puppy and they got all those sharp puppy teeth. Your puppy just wants to play. Your toddler doesn't understand what's happening. So going back to our number 2 with our management and number 1, our supervision, incorporating the right types of toys. So what I would probably suggest for most of my clients, now not everybody, but having the right types of toys to redirect your dog away from the chewing and the nipping, having the proper toys. So those little flat crinkly toys that have the squeakers in them, or just the flat crinkle paper. It sounds like there's a potato chip bag inside of that stuffed ladybug or whatever it is. Those types of toys really draw interest from the dogs, and redirecting them to chew on that and not you is what's going to really help eliminate all that nuisance puppy nipping and biting. We will go more into that as well in your program. Number 9, tools for class. So when I send your welcome email, I will include lots of information, so don't be overwhelmed. I have attachments that I include for you to read over. There are a few things for class that I will need you to bring to class. If you don't have them the first class, I understand. I have extras if we need them. I know sometimes you sign up at the last minute or life gets crazy. As long as you can have them for the next class, that's fine. We'll work through it. But tools for class, first I would say is a training pouch that you can put up around your waist or over your shoulder. Working hands-free is going to be really important for you first as a new trainer. And think about it. When you're working with your dog, you're going to have treats, you're going to have the leash, you're going to have the dog. Plus, you're going to be listening to instruction and then trying to do the instruction with your dog. So that's really a lot going on. I want you to be as prepared as possible and have less stress. And I want things to be as easy as possible for you. So having a training pouch that's hands-free is going to be the first thing I recommend. The next thing is a harness or a buckle collar, a 4-foot leash, and a 20-foot long line. So I like 4-foot leashes because it keeps the dog closer to you for working. You'll hear me use the term training bubble. So when we are working with our dog, we want our training bubble to be really small and close so we can have access to the dog and reward very quickly. That also too allows us to manage their behavior better. 4-foot leash is it's a really great length. If you have a 6-foot leash, that's great for fun walks. I like to use my 4-foot leash for working. 20-foot long line, that will come down the road. We will work on come when called. Also, we can discuss how to utilize your long line for exercise, enrichment, and play in a safe manner. Some people ask me about clickers, and we can use clickers. And if you're not familiar with the term, let me know. If you're curious, we can discuss that. But if you want to use a clicker, definitely let me know. And I do have some available. If you have your own, we can use that as well. I typically anymore don't use clickers just because my pet parents have a lot going on when we start classes. So like I said previously, they've got their treats, the pouch, the dog, the leash, they're listening. Now, if we add a clicker into the mix, sometimes it does get a little overwhelming. And unless it's something that you're really curious about or you're really passionate about using, I don't really focus on them for basic training and the foundational skills. I do utilize them though for reactivity work sometimes. So, if you have questions about clickers, just let me know. And the last thing is socialization. So socialization of your puppy is the number one thing that should be on my list. But I have to have all the other things on there too. So it's hard to have a good place for them. And I had it at the bottom of the list because we really have to get to all the ins and outs and the nitty gritty before we can even get to the socialization. So having a good plan 1 through 9 first will allow you to have a more successful and an incredibly fun socialization time with your dog. Socialization period is prime between the ages of 8 to 16 weeks. And the reason why that time is so important and so crucial is it's during that time where your puppy is still very naive and innocent. And first and foremost, they are curious. So a curious puppy is mischievous puppies sometimes, but honestly, for socialization, the more curious the puppy, the better the outcome can be, honestly, for a well-socialized dog. A well-socialized dog does not happen by mistake either way. It has to be very well planned and thought out. But with that being said, I don't want it to appear like it's this daunting and very tenuous task. We take vacations, right, as humans, and some are grand vacations, and some of them are maybe just for a weekend to go see grandma and grandpa. And we plan for those trips. No matter where we're going, there is some sort of planning that goes into it. So if it's just a weekend at grandma and grandpa's, well, you got to figure out what you're going to do about the mail. If you have any bills that need to be paid before you go, groceries in your refrigerator, who's going to take care of the cat, who's going to water the plants, et cetera, et cetera. So there is some planning that goes into it, but your result is going to be this great vacation where you can go and your mind can be free of worry because you know you made a really good plan for everything that you left at home. So when you come back, you'll be able to go right back into it without any additional stress. So having a well-socialized dog does take planning, but let's not make that plan so overwhelming that it's not any fun. Working with your dog during their socialization period can be the most amazing time of you and your pet's relationship. You want to make sure you set them up for success by giving them every opportunity to experience all those new things for the very first time and leaving them with a positive imprint. We want them to experience the very first time of something being very positive and not scary. We want to introduce them to their world so it does make them feel encouraged and curious. And we don't want to force them on into situations where they're not comfortable. So having a really good plan with your socialization is what's going to be what makes it very successful. And socialization is just not people and dogs. That's about maybe 10, 20% of it. Honestly, 80% or a little bit more of your dog's socialization, honestly, is getting your dog exposed to their environment and the real world, getting them out and about in society. And I don't mean going into the middle of Sam's Club on a Saturday when it's packed and making him meet every person. That's not what I mean. But it's simple things like getting your dog comfortable hearing sirens, having them see dogs at a distance, motorcycles, umbrellas, people with walkers and wheelchairs, people with different gaits, people wearing hats, men with beards, riding in the car, getting in and out of the car, walking on different surfaces, different smells. There's a lot in scents. There's so many things that go into it, and I have a great plan, and I have a cheat sheet for you to use to help you keep track of all of that. So once again, let me just say thank you for signing up with me here at Pause Your Size Dog Training. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via phone, text, or email. I'd be happy to answer any additional questions for you. And I'm excited to get going on our journey to create a really good bond between you and your puppy and get your puppy well trained. Thank you.